Hey guys, just want to let you know about the new website, Aspect of the Hunter. If you want to find the latest pet, transmog, or anything else WoW related, head on over to Aspect of the Hunter. It's the home for all us hunters.
Hey, what's up guys, Ravenclaw here, and welcome to another episode of Raven's Reviews. And in today's episode we're talking about the game PlayerUnkowns Battleground, and the name speaks for itself. Now, I've only been playing this game for about a week maybe or something like that. A few of my friends have got me onto this and I am loving this game. For anyone that is interested in playing or playing with me or whatever, links down below to where you can get the game. It is a Steam based game, but yeah, so I thought I would sort of talk you through the game as I play it and sort of mention a few things as they come up. So the idea of this game is basically a survivalist war game sort of thing. So you jump out of a plane with nothing but your clothes and a parachute, and you've got to try and find a spot that is going to be the most lucrative for weapons and ammo and all that stuff, but not get yourself in a world of trouble by landing where everyone else is landing. Now, right now, I chose to land in the spot just outside of one of the main towns because of this one reason. If you look behind me, there's about 3 or 4 people landing in the main town. So this was actually a good spot because I was able to find myself some nice weapons to get me started. So there is a trick to sort of jumping out of the plane that I've learnt from some of my mates. So what you want to do when you do jump out, you obviously want to hold forward, but look up at the sky to get your max distance. What a lot of people try and do is they try and jump out of the plane and just drop straight down at the town underneath to obviously get down there first and get geared up. But what they don't realize is, yes, they might hit first, but a lot of other people come on top of them and they ended up getting wiped out. I like to play a more of a stealth game, if you know what I mean, to try and get geared up without getting into too much trouble early game, and then picking off people from afar once the game sort of closes in on itself. So the way that this game plays out is we all land, and once the last player lands, a white circle will get placed on the playing field, and that is what's known as the safe zone. That's where you can play without getting any damage by being outside of that. So the white circle is good, but then a blue circle will come in. It's like a force field. Now what that does is it sort of quickens the game. Otherwise, in this gigantic map, we'd be playing here forever. So every few minutes, starts the beginning of the game, it gives you 5 minutes to, you know, run around, do your bits and pieces, and then the blue circle will come in. You can see just above the map there, that little timer is telling me when the blue circle will start moving in. And if you are caught outside of the circle, you'll start taking damage. Now, early game, you'll start taking a small amount of damage until you get back in, but late game, if you're caught out, which you will see at the very end, that you'll start taking a lot more damage. Now, I do want to apologize at the moment. As you guys know, I did have a cold, and I don't know, it's done something to my voice that I hope doesn't stay forever. I've got this sort of crazy, stupid raspiness to it. Anyway, so I was quite lucky to pick up an assault rifle straight away. So this AK is actually quite good. I've been doing pretty well with the AK. So as you're playing, you want to sort of pick your next move. So I've still got 3 minutes. I've got plenty of time to walk around and do stuff, but I haven't found a vehicle. So in this game, there are vehicles scattered throughout the map. Okay, some are motorbikes, some are buggies, some are sort of enclosed vehicles. Some provide more protection than others, but it's up to you. I mean, at the end of the day, I just grab whatever's next to me just so I can get across the map quicker to beat the blue circle. Now, you will see in this game that I get pretty unlucky with the circles, so yeah, I have to run across country quite a bit. So now we're getting to the point where the thing is starting to close in on us, and I know that there's people over in that other town. I don't want to go over there yet because I haven't seen or heard any movements. So this game doesn't show you any health bars. It doesn't show you any player dots on the map like, you know, Call of Duty or anything like that. It is literally using your survival skills. If you hear a gunshot, That's the only way you know where people are hiding or where they're fighting. You know, if you hear a vehicle, which you'll see later on in the game, that's where you know where they're coming from. So it really does make you use everything that you've got in your survival, you know, backpack to be able to win. And geez, playing solo is horrible, but fun at the end of the day, because playing solo, you don't know when anyone's coming. If you do get ambushed, you're by yourself. But yeah, so that leads me into my next thing. This game allows you to play obviously solo, but you can play in pairs. You can play in a squad of 4, 3 or 4, whatever. But you can also play custom matches, which you can choose to, you know, do whatever you want, which I haven't done yet, but I'll be doing later on. And yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a lot more enjoyable when you play with teammates. And reason being is because you really work together, and in this game it really does pay off if you work as a solid unit. And I mean, like, if you're going to raid a town, you'll get people to take point, you'll get someone to stay back and, you know, cover you guys, and someone to scout through. It's really fun. It really does make you play like a combat unit, and that's what I love about it. So now you can see that the timer is coming in, and I've really got to make a move. So I thought if I go over to the other side, like out of this section here, and just pick out the town, because I'm in the circle, I'm okay, but I wanted to see if I could see any movement, and that's the only way you can really find out where your enemies are. At this point, I didn't know where anyone really was. I knew they landed in that town, but, you know, where? So, as you can see, right there, I'm picking up my next location, just so I know where to move if anything falls bad, if I get caught in the blue circle. You get the idea. You just want to pick your point before your next move. So, there was no one there, and I moved on. But, as you can hear, we have a vehicle coming past us. There it is, right there. I thought, I'll take a quick shot. If I get it, I'll get it. But, as you can see, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes you can get a headshot and kill someone off the vehicle, but you also sort of show yourself on the map. If anyone's around you, then they'll know that there's someone there. So you really got to play your cards right. It's better to live another day, you know, than get killed straight up for a miss. Anyway, so I moved on, and I'm getting closer into the center circles. I found a town that wasn't raided, so I thought, if anything, I can use this town for cover, in case people are starting to rush through, because I was running through a field for at least, you know, a minute, and I don't know how I didn't get seen. And that's another thing. While you are running out and about, you want to keep as mobile and as nimble as you can. It is better to sort of zigzag and jump if you're going to go through an open field like I just did. Otherwise, if you're just sort of running straight and there's a sniper behind you, it's an easy hit. Now, you would have noticed that red dot on the map. What that does, it sort of spawns randomly, but sort of closer to a more populated area. And what happens is, in that red circle, it launches, say, artillery shells to sort of, you know, clear out the playing field and sort of push people away from camping. Now, having said that, you can hide in a building when that happens, and you won't get hit. But yeah. So anyway, we moved in closer. I was trying to get past the thing, and I was getting hit. Now, I didn't know where I was getting hit from. I knew it was would have had to have been from the south somewhere, but I wasn't in any position to stop and look. So as you can see, I'm trying to jump and be as nimble as I can, just so it's harder for them to take me out. Luckily, I was able to pick up some energy drinks. Now, energy drinks are known as boosts. As you'll see, I've got a little boost bar above my health bar. That will allow you to regen. If you don't have any energy drink or painkillers, you won't regen. And that's the beauty of this game, which I love. Now, as we can see, another vehicle is, and I think that was the same bike as before. I don't know. Lucky little bastard. But yeah. Anyway, I heard that there was gunshots happening back in the town where I was getting shot, so I thought it was my best chance to run closer into the circle. I didn't want to get caught. As you can see, the blue force field was right at my back, and I was like, no, I'm out. I came to this warehouse because, as you can see, where I put that marker earlier on in the game, that was literally just in the circle, and it was a perfect spot for me to get it's better to run through a more covered area than it is through an open field. So I thought I'm just going to cut my losses and be able to sort of use these containers as sort of like a shield from me and other players. And I also thought that because the player circle's coming in, I thought that I could get up on this container eventually and sort of pick people off as I saw them coming in. Luckily enough, I was able to pick up another first aid, but as you can see, I've got a med kit. So the difference in the medical supplies, you've got a med kit which will allow you to get from 0 to 100 without any restrictions, so you can only get to about 75% health with normal med kits. A boost will get you above that slowly, but a med kit will get you all the way up without worrying about your limits. First aid will get a large bit of health back, but it will still have its limit. You won't go higher than say 75%. And a bandage does a small amount of health over time. It gives you about 5 ticks, and the best time to use bandages is if you're going to bandage yourself up, wait for like the third tick and then do it again. Otherwise you sort of overlap and you won't get the full amount of health. Okay, so I was able to make it cross map through the water. I had to swim through the water too, but I was able to find myself another building, and I thought this would be perfect for cover. And but I was getting to the point where I was starting to freak out now, because we're getting really close to each other, and these are one of the buildings that was in the map. And a lot of people do what I'm doing now, try to find cover within the circle, and especially if it's a 3-story building. And so that leads me to another point. When you want to jump off a building, if you jump off a 2-story building, you won't take fall damage. Anything above that, you will take fall damage, as you'll see very soon. I thought this would be a great point, but it was actually a pretty bad position because I had a mountain right in front of me and I couldn't really see anything. So I thought, no, I can't do this. It's time to move on. Look how small the circle is. And I'm thinking, if I get ambushed here, I'm screwed. So I thought, cut my losses, jump off the building, get a lot of damage. And I'm like, damn it, move on. As I was moving up the hill though, I heard some action straight to the east. And as you'll see in a sec, we have a couple of enemy players shooting each other on the hill. And that's what I'm talking about. They gave themselves away. That's why I tried to be as stealthy as possible, because I didn't want to get ambushed, especially in this vulnerable position. As you see over the ridge here, we've got just open playing field, and that is horrible and a bad position to be in, because as you can hear right now, there's some people up to the east. Now, there's a vehicle right here, right there, and I did not see it when I was playing it. If I'd have seen that, I would have taken the vehicle and used that as cover at the end game, but I didn't really need it. But as you can see, people are up over the ridge, and because they used their guns, they were having a gunfight, it allowed me to see where they were. But I don't know what's going on this server. Like, I swear that I clocked some of these guys dead on, but it didn't register. Or maybe it did and they had, I don't know, body armor, or who knows. But you will see a little bit later on that I do get a pretty lucky shot, but it didn't kill him, and it sucked. But hey, it is what it is. All's fair in love and war, I guess. Okay, this point I am freaking. I am like, my heart is pumping. I'm like, oh my god. So, because you can see, like, I took a risk running through an open field. I was waiting to get shot in the head. Like, those guys are still up on the hill, and I was honestly expecting him to just launch at me from up there. But he didn't. Instead, he's trying to get out. See, as the blue's coming in, he's up on the hill, out of game. So you can see him up on the hill there. It forced him into the playing area because he's taking a lot of damage. And right there, that's where I got one of the hits. But I don't know what any of the other hits were doing. But the other guys that were up on the hill over there took him out. Oh, here we are. This bit. Oh, this is where we're getting into the craziness. And it's me and one other player in the shrubs. No idea where each other are. But I had a feeling. So what happens at endgame? When you're at this point, you get to the very last circle, and you get a certain amount of time before this force field just closes in on itself, and it just kills anyone else, okay? So I thought I'd throw a grenade to sort of flush him out and maybe get a lucky shot. It didn't happen. Didn't happen at all. So here we are, final moments. And I thought, hey, if I can't find him, I'm just going to go right to the middle of the circle, and who knows, if I'm in the apex of the circle, if I'm right in the center, then if he's on the edge, he will die before me. And I had a feeling he was right behind that bale of hay, and I thought this is going to happen in one of two ways. I'm either going to be able to see him and kill him, or I'll be in a position where he'll die first and I'll win. Just so you know, if you hold control and move, it'll slow you walking down or crawling, so you won't make much sound. But as you can see, guys, right now I didn't know what to do, and all of a sudden the shield comes in, and look how much damage I take. And watch this. I get down to a 1% of health, and GG, we win. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this sort of preview of the game, and if you want more, let me know. But other than that, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye now.